Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Space Snacks. Today, we have two guests. I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Julio Rezende, who is a professor in Brazil and coordinator of the Habitat Marte, and Davi Souza. Did I say that right, Davi?
Yes.
And he is a student in electrical engineering and has an interest in sustainability and architecture, sustainability and agriculture, correct?
Sure.
Well, welcome to Space Snacks. I'm so thrilled to have you. First of all, we want to hear about you and what you do. So, Julio, can you tell us a little bit about you, your background, and what you've been doing?
Yes, my background is management and also psychology, and then my studies about sustainability, and then I during 2016 I heard about the Mars Desert Research Station, and then before this I just working with sustainable construction in Brazil using recycling materials in one area of in the countryside of Brazil. Then when I noticed the experience of the Mars Desert Research Station in Utah, we believed that in that time that would be interesting to start something like this in Brazil too, in the area that we are just building using recycling materials. And then in the end of 2017, we started the Habitat Marte Space Analog Station. Was the first mission in December. And then now we are reaching 40 missions. No? And then since last year, Davi is working with me in so many different missions in Habitat Marte. Yes.
Wow, that's really fantastic. I can't wait to hear more about the habitat and everything that's going on there. And 40 missions. Congratulations. Davi,
Yes.
how about you?
Uh-huh.
So, hello everyone. Good afternoon from Brazil, and for you, I think it's good morning. So, I'm Davi Souza. I am, as I am Proctor told, I am a student of electrical engineer, and then about more than a year ago, I started my researches at Habitat Marte. Before that, or previous that, I space was a thematic, a subject really distance from myself, from my life. I don't even know how space could be useful for us on Earth. And when I started my research at Habitat Marte, I got really interested about space habitats and also space agriculture. So my background is in automation, and then I started some researches about automation to be applied as technology to support food production in space or even on Earth. So it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the invitation.
Oh, I'm thrilled to have both of you to talk about what is going on. And I'm a professor of geoscience, and so sustainability, food, the habitat, all of those things just resonate with me. And so talking about the whole idea of sustainability and the construction of the habitat. Julio, can you walk us through again your vision? I know I've been to MDRS. Had you actually gone and done a mission at MDRS, or did you just read about what was happening there?
Yes, I in the first moment I participated of Master Site Convention in New Washington D.C. to learn more about the discussions about Mars, and then this was in 2016, and then in 2017 I did an application, and then was part of a crew in Mars Desert Research Station. I believe it was in November. Also, a big Brazilian TV channel covered the part of the mission. They visit the Habitat Marte in Brazil and visit the MDRS in Utah, and making a connection between both habitats and how the sustainability is important. Then it was a very interesting moment because we get some attention to the project and about the research too. Yes, I believe that also MDRS is very good. It's a very special place, and we learn a lot from that. And also the protocols, some protocols we also common in Habitat Marte too. Yes.
So how big is Habitat Marte? How big of a crew can you support there? What's the actual size?
Yeah, yes. We started with, in terms of meters, we started with something around 60 square meters, and then the habitat was expanding. Now we have something around 160 square meters in the habitat, and then the greenhouse started with 12 square meters, and now we have 160 square meters, and then we are expanding more than 10 times the area of food cultivation. And then one of our challenges is be self-sustainable in terms of the food production. One of our challenges, and then we are very interested about the topics of your interest too. Yes.
That's fantastic. And so, Davi, you as a student, you're an undergraduate, correct? And so,
Yes.
so were you taking a class with your professor here at the university? Is that how you two met?
No, not actually, because Professor Julio, he is professor of the master degree, and then another professor just told me about the Habitat Marte, and that time I was finishing my work to conclude my technical course, and it was related to smart greenhouses. And when this professor told me about Habitat Marte, I got interested and started to do my researches and to know more about the Sustainable Development Goals. That is one topic that Professor Julio works there in Habitat Marte. And when I saw the Habitat Marte, the website, I saw that there was a place, the biohabitat is the greenhouse. It was a place that hasn't been useful, so that there was no system in operation there. And I come to Professor Julio and told him, hey, I'm really interested to do something with this greenhouse. I got this background. I would like to do something to collaborate with your research. And then I came to him and we started to put in operation the food production system that now is in operation there. And I got a lot of experience. I like to say that Habitat Marte is a kind of living lab that I have experienced a lot of time, a lot of good time, and a lot of knowledge that now we are having the opportunity to share with others.
Oh, that's so fantastic. And so, of course, the show is called Space Snacks. So food. Can't wait to talk about the greenhouse and what you're growing and all of those things. But before we go there, I want to ask both of you, the answer might be obvious, but if you could go anywhere, the moon, International Space Station, or Mars, or just hang out on Earth, where would you go and why? Julio, I'm going to start with you. Where would you like to explore?
Yes, something that important in the operation of Habitat Marte, and also our greenhouse is called a biohabitat, and then now these two facilities are connected. We created a common area called the bio lounge, connecting the both facilities. and then we can walk from the habitat Marte to biohabitat. And then something very interesting that we are operating there is two aquaponic systems. One aquaponic system called a grow bed. In this case, we have the also tilapia fish in the water tanks. And then during this year, we start the operation of the second aquaponic system. It's called Deep Water Coat, or DWC. And then, yes, we have it's very interesting to see the two systems in operation, because we also we will need to keep the maintenance of the systems, because we need to keep the good levels of the quality of water, and to have good conditions to also to the plants, but mainly to the fish too.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a very interesting thing that we are operating there. And the other important element that I'd like to emphasize, since coronavirus, and coronavirus is very disturbing in Brazil, we stopped the presential, the physical missions, and then we start virtual missions. And then this is a kind of disturbing situation that bring us some good opportunity to innovate, because now we are reaching different countries and continents. Now we have more than 14 countries participating of our virtual missions, and this is very unique for us too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I want to talk about. You just had your 40th mission, and one of the things that is very impressive, again, is the international aspect. And so how easy was it to transition from doing things together in, bringing people, I imagine it was mainly local Brazilian people that were participating in Habitat Marte before, and now being able to open it up to this virtual international crew?
Yes, something interesting. We develop new protocols. One of the protocols is related to offline activities. We develop a kind of protocol like to register the personal activities that the people are doing during the day, and also to collect some local weather data. If the sky is shining, or if it's cloudy, the temperature, the humidity. And then it's very interesting because you can compare different parts of the world, how is the weather conditions. And then it's very important, the protocols, because we know that now we can see in space mission control, they are communicating with astronauts, international space stations. They are not in the same place. They are in different areas, and then doing the communication, the mission, space missions happening. And then we are doing something like this in a time of social isolation in our house. And then we are inviting the participants to think and to imagine how to be in a specific area of a space station. And one is in a engineering center, located infrastructure or facility. Another one is in the main habitat. Another one is in the greenhouse. And then it's like we be in different facilities, and also communicating. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Wow, that must be really interesting indeed. So, Davi, how has it been transitioning from going and being and living in the habitat to now doing the virtual?
It's been really interesting for me. Like, I'm having the opportunity to improve my English skills, but including with that, it's really interesting. The communication, the collaboration between other participants. Like, we had this transition from real missions to these virtual missions, and we are having the opportunity to improve our research, and also seeing other points of view from the other participants. This is really good, because sometimes in the most time these people has other living experiences and other concepts related to space, and then we are having the opportunity to get this concept, discuss a lot about self-sustainability in space habitats, and also how would be the design and the structures of these future habitats, and also another interesting thing that we are that are based in our research is related to the physical and mental well-being of the participants. So we have also the protocol, the physiological protocol that has been applied to the participants, and we are seeing the conditions of to be in isolation and how we are being productive, and how the crew is in collaboration and collaborating with each other. So it's really good for me to have this kind of opportunity, because it's a kind of network that we are making with other participants around the world.
I think it's really it's fantastic, and we already have people. Erin Bonilla, who's a good friend of mine. I actually lived in the high seas habitat with her. She's asking, she's saying, what a great idea with virtual missions. Can anyone participate?
Yes, Erin Bonilla, are you very welcome to be part of a member of our next mission? Yes, we are for the next mission. Just have a person from India, and then we are open to all other applicants, and then we are interested from people from different countries, because you can exchange a lot of ideas, and then also you can look in the social media in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for Habitat Marte, and then we have all the information about contact there.
And so hopefully anybody who's listening, because we have a lot of analog astronauts. Erin has already said wonderful. James Canterbury is saying hi, and he was just in the last mission with you, correct?
Yes. Please, Davi, comment.
First of all, I would like, hi James, good to see you here. It's really good, this kind of missions, because we have the kind of the position called invited research, as you are in this mission. So we have the opportunity to know more about what other people doing about space and related to their specific backgrounds. And the Professor James it was really interesting that his presentation it was related to education in STEM, and he's educating a lot of kids. And it was possible in the last mission to discuss a lot about that, because Habitat Marte is also committed with a lot of educational activities. So we are having visitations at the station, and we are also presenting how the greenhouse is in operation, how is the system that it is operating there. So it's really good to have opportunities like that to share the knowledge and the experience that we are having in these missions. Not only the virtual one, but in the real missions too, presential missions.
It sounds amazing, and I know I want to participate, and we're talking about figuring all of that out. When does the next mission start? How long do they run? Are they 1 week, 2 weeks? What's the commitment like, and when does the next one start?
Yes, the next one will be starting in Friday, 12, and then it's yes. And then it will be especially about space food production, and then one of the we are waiting the confirmation of Wemelink from Netherlands, a great researcher about the use of simulant soils of Moon and Mars to cultivate in this kind of soil. Yes, and this is a very interesting research happening. And also something that I'd like to say is close to Habitat Marte, we have a volcano, an extinct volcano. And then it's a very interesting area to extravehicular activities. Yes, one of the photos is showing the volcano. It's a nice place to extravehicular activities to happen there. Yes,
That's true.
Yeah, you want me? You had me at food and also volcano, being the geologist and geologic
yes.
disasters. But how many people? Since it's virtual, do you have a limit on how many people can participate in one of the missions, or is it open to as many as you can get going?
Okay, the maximum is 6 persons, but also we can work with more three, like invited researchers. The invited researchers are participating in specific meetings like this that we have now with you. In the day, we are one meeting by day, like 90 minutes of related to discussion as a virtual meeting. It's generally based in 12 p.m. GMT is the time of the meeting. And then during this meeting, we have a lot of tasks to present to the crew and also evaluate the follow up the some points. And then I believe is a good mode of operation to the people. Also, the people keeps the activities in the house too. Yeah.
And I love that you've got the the international collaboration, but living in the time of COVID, and we're actually isolated, and to some extent we're all analog astronauts right now. It's a really interesting model that you've developed here. Do you have any slots available for this upcoming mission, or is it all full?
No, it's open and almost missions of all weeks. And then we are also, one of the missions also will happen during the time of the Perseverance rover launching. And then we also trying to invite maybe a former astronaut to be an invited guest, an invited researcher with us. We are just waiting some confirmation about. And then
Oh, I think you froze on me on my end. I think I lost that last part. Oh, you said somebody from India?
The was about SpaceX Dragon capsule docking in International Space Station, and then was interesting. And then also we are preparing mission during also the Perseverance launching. Perseverance launch. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. And so those of you that are listening, we've got a couple more people who have joined us that are saying they're very interested in getting involved. And so, I think we just lost the professor. Hopefully he'll be able to join back in. So Davi, talk to me about your favorite experiences while living in the analog. I know for me, I've done multiple analog missions, and going outside has been one of my favorite things to do.
It has been really interesting this year, most part of this year in Habitat Marte, because I like to say that all the experience that we have there is like living experience. So we need to try to find solutions. We face some challenges, and this is really great. Because it stimulates the creative thinking, and I think this will be one of the most important things for future astronauts. So I never had the opportunity to join other analog missions, and this in Habitat Marte, it was my first experience as an analog astronaut. So started to do this all of these researches, and I get really motivated for future and for future about the space exploration. So I'm really committed to collaborate with this kind of research. So even with my background, I never thought that I will be making researches about space. So and this kind of opportunity stimulates me to try to find other ways to collaborate. So I started this research with automation, and then I started to read articles and trying to find researches, and now I'm really engaged with this kind of content. So it has been really great, and I really want to keep doing that. So I try to other in other analog stations and bring this experience to Habitat Marte, and also to collaborate to the development of our station here in Brazil with Professor Julio.
Yeah, that's just amazing. And so, Professor, have you gotten a lot of interest from other university professors or other people across Brazil? Have you seen anybody wanting to do something similar in Brazil? Because Brazil's a big country. So have you seen anything like that happening?
Yes, in Brazil, I believe the Habitat Marte is the only analog station in the southern hemisphere. And also, I believe they are in Africa. They are trying to create an analog station there, and also in maybe other Latin countries. But at the moment, it's just Habitat Marte in the southern hemisphere. And then this is very interesting. And then, yes, we have also some questions from Ethan and Joyce Peruwal. Yes, we are. You can write to us in the habitatmat at Gmail, and also mentioning us in the social media. Yes, we can answer some questions. Yes.
Now,
And then,
as far as food goes, what are some of the things that you've been able to grow and also eat in the habitat?
yes, in the first moment, we are testing the facilities, the aquaponics system, and we cultivated pepper, also the basil, okay, and tomato, in the first moment, based in the first aquaponic system. But now we have a big area, and then a big area to cultivate, and then we are operating also the second aquaponic system. We are testing, and in this process of test, we are cultivating the seeds of some fruit plants to reforestation of the area.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
then,
really important. Yep.
yes, and then but we have some challenge to produce more food there. And if Davi would like to comment too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm able to say that I'm the official cooker of Habitat Marte analog stations since a year ago, because I really like to cook, and we started to bring some food from the city, and then when the system started to operate and we started to harvest the food, the plants that we are cultivating there, the first thing that we are able to do was a pesto sauce. It was really great and really tasteful, and we mixed it with pasta, and then we started to try other kind of other kind of meals to see how we can mix the plants that we are developing there with the regular meals that we have in the station. So to use some kind of sauce, and also to put more vegetables in our meals. And then we had the first experience to cook the tilapia fish once in one mission. We had this opportunity. It was a different experience for me, because we needed to kill the tilapia fish and to cut the fillet, and then was a really great experience. It was my first time doing that. And as I told you, it's a kind of living experience. So we always developing new strategies and new procedures, new directions to make the analog mission more comfortable for us. So it's a really great experience.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And I used to fish as a kid, and so the whole idea of having to get the fish and then kill it and clean it and all of that, that's definitely some life experience. But growing your own food and cooking it, all of that stuff. How does that play into crew cohesion for when you are living in sim? The whole food.
Sorry, I didn't catch.
Yep. So how is the food a big part of establishing crew cohesion while you're living in simulation? So bonding, do you eat all your meals together?
Yes, sure. We started to try other kind of other kind of approaches for our meals. It's also an interesting topic that we are discussing in other mission, because Professor Julio has the idea to install a barbecue grill.
Oh,
and yeah, and then one participant of the mission told us that, so what, you are really doing barbecue in space? So I told her that we will be transporting like an electric grill, because so barbecue, it's really great. So I really want to eat. I made this answer in the question that you made for us, and I really want you to eat meal in space. So why not an electric grill?
Well, I don't know if you've been watching some of my shows. Like yesterday, I grilled cookies. I made grilled peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. And so I have a George Foreman, and I keep saying how for my space snacks, I'm going to take my George Foreman with me to the moon or Mars, because I'm going to grill on the moon. So I'm right there with you. We'll have to talk more about just how we can come up with recipes that we can grill on the moon.
Yes, interesting. Yes, and then yes, we believe the meals is very important element of the mission, because when during the MDRS and is very confined, in MDRS, and then if you have good meals, everybody's happy. If you don't have a good meal, it's very disturbing. And then there's also I did a list about the food cultivated there. We have eggplant, basil, lettuce, also a banana, tomato, pepper, sweet potato, and cilantro. Some plants and spices that we are cultivating there.
No, that sounds awesome. And so during this time, are you able to go to the habitat and check on it and continue some of the operations?
Yes, we're trying to go there one time a week, because we need to see everything is fine. And also one of the problems that we have, sometimes we have an employee there keeping some basic activities. And then sometimes we one of our problems sometimes is the quantity of ration to the fish. Sometimes if you are not putting the correct amount of ration, we have also some problems with quality of water. And then yes, one of the problems, and then we are trying to develop a device to make something automatic. But the idea is one time a week we visit there. Is 100 kilometers, 6 miles from Natal. Is in the coast. It's a beautiful. It's a tourist city. And Natal means Christmas, because the city was discovered in the Christmas day. And then if in the coast is wet, but if you drive 6 miles to the countryside, is dry. And you can see the landscapes with a lot of cactus. And then now we are having some rain. It's a better rain season. from the last winter season from the last 10 years. But during many years, we had a very difficulty related with water scarcity in the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of the questions is, what are your biggest challenges right now? I mean, I know that you have COVID, with COVID where you can't do in sim, but are there any other challenges besides not being able to be physically together to run the missions?
Yes, one of the important points is maybe the financial sustainability, because I'm keeping these activities with my personal resources, and then one of our challenges is try to identify some grant or some support or some partnerships to keep the activities. It's not a great amount of money. With some basic supports you can operate, and then this is one of our challenges to be operated this year. Also, other great challenge is also really try to be self-sustainable, because really to be self-sustainable means we have the solar plant, the solar energy, photovoltaic installations there. Also, we try to use only the food cultivated there, and now we just installed a system to collect the rainwater to also a water tank, and this is a good step. And then yes, and then this is a part of our challenges to this year. Yes.
Yeah, and so Davi, do you see yourself? I don't know when you're graduating. Are you graduating soon? Do you see yourself wanting to continue after graduation?
I'm in the middle of my course, and I have a lot of perspective to keep in the space thematics. So to do some masters related on that. I'm really interested about environmental control and the kind of support system, specifically in food production. So I really like the idea to grow food in a confined space, as Professor Julio told, to be a sustainable environment and off-grid facility. So I to achieve these goals, both goals, we need to keep a good production of food and be also resilient and avoid risks. And then I'm really interested to use some of my knowledge and also my background, and also to have more experience to find solutions to avoid this kind of losses and to keep the system in a good operation. So we also, I would like to add a comment related to the challenges. Is one of the challenges, not the biggest, is to keep the aquaponics system into operation and a regular operation. So we need to do the maintenance of the system, the cleaning of the system. And sometimes we have a lot of organic matter that is not allowing the water flow in the system. So in the first moment of this isolation time, this quarantine, we were not able to go to the Habitat Marte, and then the system has stopped, and we needed to find solutions to not lose the amount of food that we have there. And that's why I'm really trying to implement. I'm really engaged to the implementation of an automatic system to help in this kind of activities, and also to make like remote monitoring, because it's really interesting and necessary for this kind of activities.
Yeah, that's one of the big challenges in creating a self-sustained system, and then not only producing enough food to feed 6 people, but managing energy, water, waste, all of those things is very technical. And for the food side of it, when I think about that, a lot of it is we can sometimes grow too much food that you can consume before it goes bad. So you not only are you growing your food that you can feed everybody, but how do you preserve excess food so that you have it stored for later, and being able to be more efficient with that. And so I'm a big fan of freeze drying and that kind of technology. So maybe we can figure out a grant or something to include freeze drying or some kind of preservation for helping to close that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not only grow food. It's not only grow the plants. We need to keep to keep a nutritive meal and also a health growth. So that's why it's important, this kind of technical and technological support in this kind of systems. So I really interested to keep doing this kind of research and maybe doing a master and trying to study more about space food production systems in space.
Well, I think that it's really great, and I imagine, Professor, now that you have these virtual analog missions, you're getting all of these amazing people and interest from around the world. And because sometimes you might not have the funds to be able to go there, but to be able to participate virtually is really great, and tapping that knowledge from around the world. And so do you find that word is spreading, that you're getting more and more people saying, hey, what's going on in Brazil? How do I become a part of it?
Yes,
that's true.
Yes, I'm very happy because I also can see some people asking about and watching the live today and asking about, and everybody is welcome to be part of a analog mission. No? And then now we are just happening a mission, and also we have as a full member other David Mascarenhas from Portugal. Mm-hmm. And then we're having a good discussion about how would be a self-sustainable habitat in Moon. And then, yes, and then we are, all the missions, we try to extract something, a good content to prepare papers or abstracts to Congress. And also to be presenting some international conference, and then I believe it's very good. And then we are not traveling, mainly in Brazil, but we can exchange our ideas based also in the academic congresses too. Yes, I love it. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really great. One last question about food. If you could eat anything on the moon or Mars, what would you want to eat and why?
Yes, I see. For me, I believe to cultivate a tomato plant, and maybe to prepare a good tomato soup with the tomato cultivated by me was one of the interesting food that would be cultivated and easy to prepare for me. But for Davi,
I would really like to bring some meat there, barbecue, but I believe that the first stance would not be as that possible. Maybe with some 3D printers and something like that. But I really like pasta, and so I know that it's possible to cultivate some kind of algae that we can produce pasta. So it would be really great to eat some pasta with sauce and some pesto sauce too.
Yes.
Well, now
I think I will be a good cooker on Mars.
Now you got me thinking about Davi using my George Foreman grill and grilling some barbecue meat as a challenge, using freeze-dried meat. So I'm going to take that on. So I just want to say to those that you are listening, in honor of the professor here, our recipe is tomato soup. And so one person who left a comment in the chat, This is our postcard giveaway. And so everybody who has joined us today, we want to thank you. And one last word on how they can follow you and be a part of the mission or follow along.
Yes, please. We are asking everybody to follow us in the social media, and then in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also YouTube. You can look for at Habitat Marte, and then you can see the lot of posts and that we are sharing. And then I believe it's an easy way to connect us, and then we are very attent and look in what the people are mentioning about us, and then we can keep very quickly. And also from also to July, and everybody's welcome to be part of one of the missions with us. Okay, thanks.
And Davi, do you have any last words?
I think just Professor Julio forgot. We have also the website, the habitatmarte.com, and we are posting all final reports of this mission. And so I would like to say thanks and to tell to all of you, you are really welcome to participate in our missions. It will be a pleasure for me to be your crewmate. And let's do research. Let's help on space exploration, and let's keep doing to make like an habitat on Moon or Mars possible as soon as possible.
Yeah. I totally agree. And James, thank you. James put the @Habitat Marte in the chat for everybody to follow along. Thanks again for joining this Space Snacks, and I hope that you will tune in again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks so much, Cian, for your invitation. Thanks so much.
Thank you.